Have you ever heard of Loko Kodhi? Loko Kodhi. Majority of us are quite comfortable with Loko Kodhi. Very few Luos living today are even aware that the community would employ a mechanism known as Loko Kodhi. Loko Kodhi is employed all the time with our cattle and our livestock, but it is even a practice that we would do to continue the clans. Before Charles Darwin advanced his treatise on survival of the fittest, guess who have been practicing the scientific principles of survival of the fittest for thousands of generations? Loko Kodhi was a system that was employed to ensure that succession and continuity of the clan was on the basis of preferred and strength. We were quite intolerant to weaker members of the clan who had vices. There were very many ways that the community employed Loko Kodhi, but for today, allow me to only touch on 3, and the third one will blow your minds away. 1. Loko Kodhi through Monjruok. Monjo is the root word for Monjruok, from which we get the English equivalence of raid. Raids formed a huge part of our day-to-day lifestyle in traditional times. Clan elders, Jodongo, would sanction specific raids aimed at a specific clan or a neighboring community from which they had identified a preferred trait. Such raids were meant that after decimating everything, we would harvest, we would extract the preferred trait. Such preferred traits were actually spoils of war, young men and women who would come over to our clan, and through forced intermarriage, they would continue in their traits, and that they will dilute our weak or negative traits. A typical community that we would raid from time to time was the Abagusi, Jokisise. The Luo nation, because of the close proximity to Jokisise, we would invade them from time to time. If you come across a light-skinned Luo, chances are that is a product of Loko Kodhi through Monjruok. Second one, Loko Kodhi through Gamruok. Gamruok is a huge part of traditional marriage system in the Luo culture. Jagam or Jagain was an individual that knew quite well the two communities and was quite conversant with the traits that the elders of one community wanted to come over. Jagam would go between these two communities, and like I had mentioned in another previous video, Gamruok was for the sole purpose of pairing these two communities, pairing these two clans. Gamruok was one of the most friendliest of ways that the Luo nation had friendly intermarriages. Gamruok was for the sole purpose of Loko Kodhi. In instances whereby this clan wanted to step down on a negative trait, they would gamo someone from another clan, someone from another community to come, and in future their stock, that breed, would be dominant in that clan. That was for the sake of pairing, and pairing was the best way for Loko Kodhi. The third way, Loko Kodhi, the clandestine way. The day-to-day management and running of a clan was vested with the elders, Jodongo, Jodongo were quite familiar with every aspect of a clan's life. Jodongo knew when certain traits needed to be extinguished. They knew when certain traits needed to be encouraged. Jodongo knew who were the preferred members of a clan, who were the members of a clan that even given an opportunity, they would look for ways in getting rid of. In the clandestine way, Jodongo would look and they would perform due diligence on neighboring clans. In this way of Loko Kodhi, Jodongo would send the husband who they deemed worthy from a weaker clan. The person that they deemed that this person had the potential of continuing in that other strong trait, that other preferred trait. This husband who was married would be sent out on errands, and the wife would be put on singruok. Singruok is a vow, and the elders would ask this young woman to go in with another man whom had a preferred trait, and that one was typically between them, and it was a high secret. The husband to this wife is out on errands. He is not aware of what Jodongo are up to. After the lady had gone on her days and coming back during ovulation, the lady was asked, as soon as your husband comes, you must make sure that you sleep with him so that he will know that that is his progeny, that one is his child. This clandestine way is the one that most people are not aware of. It involved a very closely guarded secret, and the role of the lady must have come from a very preferred male member of the clan. That is how our people did Loko Kodhi. Loko Kodhi worked. And Loko Kodhi is the reason why most of us, we have traits of neighboring communities. Most of us, we have traits of neighboring clans. Just like I had said before, if you ever come across a light-skinned Luo, chances are that individual is a product of Loko Kodhi, Dodi, making learning language simpler.